Sup guys, it's your boy Tello here, back to you with another WoW video, and we're going to be talking about how to make money and taking advantage of the Darkmoon Faire event coming up, I believe on the 5th, which starts on the 8th for Mulgore, and then later on in the month, I believe it's around January 22nd, starting to set up and start for the Alliance side in Elwyn. Now, the Mulgore one is going to be really tough, and if you already know what it's like, then you know the Warlocks are going to be spamming you for gold. Come get your gold for your summons. Good tea, thank you very much. However, the Warlocks are going to take a lot of advantage of this DMF's event going on, and they're going to be making a lot of money. So, if you're a Warlock, do the summons for DMF, you'll be making tons of gold. However, if you're not a Warlock, and you're an auto-swinging class like myself, a Paladin, or somebody else, you will be grinding this event if you choose to. If you want to do it safely, you wait for Elwyn, but if you want to take advantage while it's here, you could be making yourself a lot of gold. It does require some grinding, of course, so no swiping. We can't be swiping, alright? Everybody calm down. But if you're willing to grind, you can make yourself a decent amount of money. I believe when I did the DMF event in Elwyn, I think I made around 200 to 300 gold in like 2 to 3 days. And I was grinding. I was just like, selling a lot of materials. And I was getting a lot of Darkmoon Faire bags that I could have probably made more gold with. But I was handing out a lot of the bags to like, friends and guildies. And I just wanted people to get some, more storage space. But you can make a lot of event with those bags as well. But let's look into what you want to get for making the most bang for your buck. So the biggest thing about this event is your professions and grinding certain materials. Don't worry about tier 3 to 5. This is way much later in the phase. But come tier 1 and 2, you're going to be doing, hunting maybe Fury Paws, getting bear pelts. Maybe you're killing some, different like tigers and bears and variety parts of the kingdoms, or in Dark Shore or etc. Wherever you go to kill, bears and tigers and stuff like that, right? But or not even tigers, but like panthers. You can get this from a variety of like cat-based creatures. But besides that, your professions is what's going to make you a lot of money here. They have blacksmithing, they have engineering, they have leatherworking, etc. But the best one for me that worked out for me personally, which scored me a lot of gold, was engineering. If you want to go down the engineering route, you can sell a stack of Whirring Bronze Gizmos, and I believe I was selling them at the time. They could have went down in price, but at the time during the event, it was a gold 49 per stack of Whirring Bronze Gizmos, which I believe they stack up to 10. So that means it gives you 3 extra left over if you're selling, or if you're handing them in, those 3 extra. If you have multiple stacks, that's 3 extra that are going to count towards getting another 7 for the hands-ins, and which you'll get back 4 tickets if you do the tier 2, and you get back 1 ticket if you do tier 1. So it's very worth doing the Whirring Bronze Gizmos over the copper modulators. And to be honest, you could hand in the modulators if you want to, but the gizmos, like, they're so much easier to farm, in my opinion. I'll show you where to go. So this is Red Ridge, right? If you come to the Red Ridge Canyon area, into this cave right here where I marked, there is a bunch of gnolls in there that are very easy to kill, and nothing's really too hard, especially if you have like an alt character. I have a mage where I have an alt like level 25 mage where I can go and just AoE pool, living bomb, frosting over the whole thing, right? But there's a lot of tin ore and a lot of copper ore and sometimes silver ore in those caves. If this spot here is too like populated, maybe get your friends to switch a layer or something like that, or come to the cave up here. Now I would say the Renders camp with all the Blackrock champions, and then they have the Warlock ones with the little imp. This is a tougher cave, but the ore spawns just as fast. Both these caves, you can get yourself a lot of money. And spend some really good time here. Completely empty your bags, fill up on a crap load of tin ore, a lot of copper ore. I believe you also need wool cloth in order to help with the gizmo creations. But besides that, you are good to go. Wool cloth is also really easy to come by. You can just run that, getting in dungeons, or killing just specific high-level gnolls in certain areas. You can get wool cloth basically anywhere. Wool cloth's cheap. But besides that, tin ore, copper ore. This is a great location for that, and I think this price might even skyrocket. Who knows if it goes to a gold 49? See, and what you do with the tin ore and copper ore, you make the bronze bar, you need the wool cloth, and you make these. But the wool cloth usually sells for cheap, even on the auction house. So I was always like getting more bang for my buck by like sometimes I had to buy some wool cloth if I just needed to, not all the time. Uh, but you still the profits outweigh the negatives, is what I'm trying to say. But that is one way to take advantage of this DMF event and make yourself a lot of money. Besides that, though, if you're trying to make money in other ways, so let's say we like just exit this, right? You can get yourself really good money by doing fishing. Like, fishing is no joke, and I actually want to bring some of the other fishing tabs I have here to this side, because you can go in Hillsbrad, which is the giant lake, or the little pool over here near Tyron Mill, and you can get a lot of sagefish. Sometimes it is populated. You might have to switch to like Ashenvale, which I think to the south right here is one of the best spots to farm for sagefish, because I always get a lot of sagefish spawns there, and you could take advantage of the PvE event when it's ready, you know? Loch Madon's okay, but it's a giant lake. You'll constantly find yourself running around. I don't think it's as good as Hillsbrad and Ashenvale. Silver Spine, I'm not too familiar with. I never really fished on this end, but I do think there are greater fish pools over there on the right side. I fished on the right. I don't think I ever went too far on the left. But to be honest, I find the best bang for Ashen and Hillsbrad. I'm not going to lie to you. And then Stole Talon has a little bit too. I think you should stick with the first two, as I mentioned. You'll make yourself a lot of money. Sagefish is really good because once you make the smoked sagefish, you can get more mana per second, which a lot of casters and mana users in general are going to want this food item for raid, especially, or even dungeons. But it's just really good, and you'll make yourself a lot of money. This, I believe it goes over like a gold and a half sometimes for a stack of 20 raw sagefish, so the price is definitely worth it. Same thing with Oily Blackmouth. There are tons of locations to farm this. You can go anywhere you please. I think Wetlands is amazing because you could just ride down the whole entire coast, and you could get a mixture of stuff. You can get Oily Blackmouth and Firefin Snappers, which I believe is over here as well in the Wetlands. If you see, it's the same location. Firefin Snappers are really good because that makes the fire potions, so you get the increased fire damage for 30 minutes for casters, so fire locks, fire mages. So this is why people come to Wetlands a lot. Hillsbrad Foothills has more of them on the south side, and I believe for the Oily Blackmouths, let's close that one, you can get them on the south side as well. So you could farm Oily Blackmouths and Firefins on the south end of South Shore, but I really think Wetlands is an amazing spot. Not only that, in the Wetlands, where I'm going to mark right now, if I can actually, let me get a map out, and we'll go to the Wetlands real quick. Where is the Wetlands? Here it is. So, as it was showing on the map here, right, on the left where all the Oily Blackmouths are, and, not this spot where South Shore is, there is a bunch of crocodiles all in these areas where I'm putting these pins. You will see some on the roads over here, maybe some over here, in these general locations. They drop the crocodile basically the tender meat, which you need two to make the gumbo stew, and that goes for a lot of money as well. Let me actually type that in. Crocodile gumbo should be here. Let's actually click it. Yes, the crocodile gumbo, and it gives you 6. No, this is not it actually. Hold on. Where's the good one? Heavily crocodile. Oh, no, that's not it. This is the one. I think this is the one. Yes. 8 stamina, and 8 spirit for 15 minutes, and you need the tender crocodile meat, which you can find in the Wetlands a lot. So in the Wetlands, there is a lot of places you can get this crocodile meat. That's also a really good farm. I believe I sold the croc stew for a stack of 20 for like 5.5 gold or something like that when the prices were set like a week ago. So these prices might be outdated. You could check them now. But all I'm saying is this is a good farm. Like, people go for this croc of stew. It's really good. food besides smoked sagefish, and it's also a really good farm. Not only that, you know the iridescent pearls, the pearls you can get from wetlands. These pearls can be farmed. They can be fished as well, but if you just kill murlocs in wetlands as well, if I can find it, if you just kill the murlocs, let me actually clear. Well, you know what? Let's just refresh this, and we'll go to wetlands again. Sorry. Over here. So in this area, this general area where I'm putting like my pins, you can find a whole bunch of murlocs here, right? If you just kill these murlocs for a while, eventually they will drop these pearls. Now, my friends told me that it's every 50 murlocs you might get 1 or 2 pearls. I've had a lot of good luck with pearls, and they sell about like 3 gold a pop on the auction house. I checked the other night, and they were about like 3 gold, 310 with silver. But there is a spot over here too, by the harbor, where like the pirate boat is, and it's like high level 28, 29 murlocs in this little area. But I don't know if it's better to go to them. You do get higher level items since they are higher level ads, so you could consider it. If you can handle it, then definitely do it. But you could do either farm for pearls. So wetlands is just great in general to make money, is what I'm trying to say. It's a really good spot. Plus, you can farm the vendor at Dunmador or the Swift Gear Station, these two right here, and check the vendors for like really high level items that go for a lot of money on the auction house. If you're not using the Auctionator add-on, you should be, because it is really good. It tells you what's the value of certain pieces, so you can see like the Elite Shoulders. I think that goes, these two vendors sell them. The Dunmador one is a little scarier because there's high level Dark Iron Dwarves there. But this one sells the Elite Shoulders as well, and they'll sell for like 10 gold, 10, 11 gold, give or take on the day. Besides that, though, we can close these out. Spider Silk. Spider Silk is selling for a really good amount of money. I believe my friend was selling them for about 4 to 5 gold a stack, or prices could have been changed at that point. He was telling me he was making a lot of money, though, with Spider Silk. And to do that, I would recommend going to Duskwood. In Duskwood, there's spiders everywhere. Technically, there's spiders by the cemetery over here that just like creep on the hills. But if you want the best spot to kill the spiders, right in this general area where I'm putting my marks at, all over here, and especially going back here, like just leading to back here, avoiding Ravenhill, but just coming to this back area, you can get a lot of spiders around the coast. Like, all the spiders will be around this coast to farm Spider Silk. And it is extremely good. Extremely good farm. You can get a crap ton of money just from doing Spider Silk farming. I highly recommend it if that's the route you want to go. Silk Cloth. Very easy to get Silk Cloth. You can do this with dungeons. But if you want a specific area that I think is really good for Silk Cloth, you can come to South Shore, and we could show you where to go from there. I think it's Hillsbrad? Yes, here. Right over here. So, in South Shore, there is a little farm patch, I believe, on the right side of South Shore, somewhere around this area of Torren Mill. And it is a farm. It could be down here as well, but it's basically a bunch of gnolls. And there's a bunch of gnolls that are about like 27, 28, give or take. But if you have a group with you, they're really easy to kill. I think there's some shaman gnolls too. They'll hit you with like an electric bolt or some shit like that. You can get a lot of good Silk Cloth, and they constantly drop it. When I was killing these things, they were constantly dropping the Silk Cloth. There's some low-level ones there, like 26 as well, so you don't even worry that they're too high. But constantly dropping Silk Cloth, like non-stop. But besides that, there is tons of spots you can go. Like Silver Spine Forest has 50% drop rate. For Dunmoreau. I mean, but that's with the Gnomergons. You can't really go there. I would say Thousand Needles is a decent spot too. With the how do you even pronounce that? The Galactic Scouts, the Gallic creatures, pretty much. You can go here too. Thousand Needles is a really good spot, but that is on the Horde side. If you're line side, it is a risk, but I'm sure you can make it. Overall, though, tons of spots. Defies Enchanters. You can kill these guys in Duskwood as well to get Silk Cloth. That's just the area I went to get Silk Cloth at. That had worked out for me. However, method of getting Silk Cloth is good for you. I'm just saying it's a good farm as well to make money. But besides that, Oh, I think I closed out the free action potion one. The reason why I had this up was because fishing is so good especially when you're getting blackmouth oil and you're getting the strangle kelp. You get strangle kelp from fishing as well, and certain fish pools. But making the blackmouth oil with the oily blackmouths, which I was highly recommending before, since you farm that, you could sell it in stacks, or you can start creating this for any alchemist, and then you could start making these free action potions, which sell for a good amount of money if you sell them in stacks. So I'm not sure how much exact gold it was from 5 free action potions. Could be a little over a gold or two, could be more. I haven't checked the last recent price, but this is also a good farm as well. But that's basically it for the video. That's what I did to make as much money as possible, as what I can do. And I think like peak gold, I could have had much more than I originally was going for. But if you guys have any good farming ideas, let me know in the comments below. This is just a guide to help you guys out on some good spots, where to go to, how to prepare yourself, and what areas I'm showing you on the map here works best for gold farming. That's the best stuff we're doing for phase 1. And I think a lot of people are onto it already as well. I just want to put that news out there just to see if there's nobody that does know about it that I can help anybody out with. Anyways, listen, I'm tired of talking. Good video. I love you guys. I appreciate any comments or likes or subs. And you guys have a damn good one, alright? Keep on keeping on. Peace.
If you wanna dance,